Section 10.3, Example 2, we are now going to continue to use the converse of the different angle theorems to show that two lines are parallel. So in this diagram, R is parallel to S. Okay, so these lines, they're marked. R is parallel to S. And angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. Now those have not been marked, so let's do that. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. So make those little marks. That tells us they're congruent. Prove that P and Q are also parallel. Okay, let's see what we have here. So this stuff is all given, all this information. And we want to prove that this is true. Well, in order to know these two angles are parallel, I need to know that some of the angles that are formed by these two lines are either congruent. It depends what kind of angles we have. Well, I notice that I've got angles 2 and 3 here are alternate interior. If I can prove those are congruent, then I'll know that P and Q are parallel, right? So all I know right now is that 1 and 3 are congruent, and they're formed by two completely different transversals, so I don't know what to call that angle pair. However, if I look this way, you know, there's some different things that I can see. So what I want to start out by doing, what I want to start off by doing is, because R and S are parallel, I notice that Q intersects R and S. It's a transversal to R and S. Well, 1 and 2 are both in the upper right-hand corner. They're corresponding, so those have to be congruent. So I'm going to say, all right, I know that angle 1 is the same as angle 2 because of the corresponding angles theorem. And if those are congruent, and I already know 1 is congruent to 3, and 1 is also congruent to 2, well, that proves that I know that 2 must be congruent to 3. Okay, if 1 is the same as 3 and 1 is the same as 2, then 2 is the same as 3. That's called a transitive property. Okay, and we said if 2 and 3 I could prove they're congruent because they're alternate interior, the lines are parallel. So now I know P and Q must be parallel because of the alternate interior angles converse. And there you have it. So using the alternate interior angles converse, I could prove P and Q were indeed parallel.